Bank Business Banking. Open a DIB rewards account and make your business rewarding every day. Hashtag ready for business.
Stock markets falling around the world right now. The Nikkei in Tokyo down by 1.6%. Australia down by 2% right now. Very much following the lead from overnight on Wall Street, where all the major markets were lower. For example, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was 1% lower.
Commodities.
With EGA, Emirates Global Aluminium, the world's biggest premium aluminium producer, supplying UAE-made metal to more than 50 countries.
Well, isn't this all very interesting then? We've got oil down around $5 this morning. We are at 95.37. That is on the back of concerns about, well, you name it, recessions, interest rates, China lockdowns. The petrol prices, though, are what we are watching here in the UAE, down around 16% going from just under 4 dirhams, depending what it is you put in your tank, to around the 3.30 mark for the month of September.
The Majlis, inside the inner circle of the region's leaders.
Yeah, that's right. It is back to work this week. So we are speaking to some of Dubai's top business leaders about what's going on and what their priorities are for the next few months. Busy 4 months ahead in Dubai. Joining us in the studio now, old friend of the Business Breakfast. It is the CEO of Azizi Development, Farhad Azizi. Farhad, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Morning, Richard.
So you're a real estate developer and the real estate market's booming. For example, we had the guys from Property Monitor on a few days ago. July this year was the busiest July in Dubai for 12 years, more than 7,000 total sales transactions. And yet, the kind of warning or the canary in the coal mine was that new inquiries are down over the summer. We heard that not just from Property Monitor, but also from the guys from Hauser. How are you reading the real estate market at the moment?
Well, exactly. The whole year actually has been quite busy. There's been a lot happening in the real estate market, and as you said, it has been booming. Summers in generally are a bit slow compared to the other seasons, but moving forward, the next 4 months, I'm very excited about them, and I think it's going to be a great time because the weather is getting better. The schools are open. Everybody's back to work. They've had their rest. So it's pretty good. The sales floors are quite busy.
Okay, so that's interesting because both Hauser, the real estate portal, and Property Monitor told us that the pipeline is getting weaker at the moment. New inquiries, new registrations are lower than they were this time last year. Is that the case at Azizi, at your sales offices across Dubai, or not?
With us, it's been a little different because maybe we have just been launching new projects. So some of the new projects that have been launched have kept our sales floor quite busy, and there have been more inquiries, and also there have been more deliveries. Plus, we're looking at acquiring new land to launch new projects. So there's been a lot happening within Azizi Developments. So our inquiries have been actually increasing. Just last week, we launched phase 4 of the Riviera project, and we launched 2 projects in Al Furjan. So that has been having a positive effect on our sales.
So in terms of a map of Dubai, if people are driving to work or watching at home this morning, Riviera is in the Maidan area,
exactly, in MBR City.
Yeah, close to the
Maidan Hotel.
Exactly, and the horse racing stadium. Al Furjan is out towards the...
Close to the Battuta Mall, the Battuta Mall,
and quite close to the Expo site.
Exactly.
And of course, it's on the metro line to the Expo site. So my question is, with Expo City opening right about now, 1st of September, isn't it?
Yes.
What was the Expo impact on Al Furjan before and when it was happening? And what have you seen in the months since Expo finished?
Well, the Expo has been wonderful for the whole city and for us as well. It had a positive effect on Al Furjan, but then the whole Al Furjan has developed a lot. The metro is in, the schools have opened, the town centers are there. There was always this Ibn Battuta Mall, the shopping mall has been there for some time. So there's a big population in that area. So the property prices have been having a capital gain and it's been a good project for us.
And that's interesting because the analysts that we've been speaking to have said while the luxury and the hyper luxury markets in Dubai are booming and prices are very high, actually the affordable and mid-level have been weaker because there's been a lot of supply, and much of what Azizi does is in the affordable and mid-market level. What's the typical price for a one-bed Azizi in Al Fajan? I'm guessing sub $1 million dirhams.
Yeah, it's lower than $1 million. It's for a one-bedroom, it would be 700 to 800,000. We do have high-end properties, for example, on the Palm in Al Farjan and the Mina project. But yeah, a lot of our properties are between 500,000 to 2 million dirhams. That's the price range.
So the analysts tell us that part of the market, relatively affordable, is weak in Dubai. What's your experience?
See, the majority of the buyers would be as such that a small portion is looking into luxurious properties, but the majority are looking for owning a home instead of just renting it. So we have had actually a good year so far, and the Palm have been having its market that's been selling well, but so has the properties that were between 500 to $1 million. That price range have been having a good inflow of customers.
Even with interest rates rising, is that some pushback you're getting?
Yeah, the interest rate rising is not so good for clients. Obviously, it's become more expensive. But what we did in return as a developer is we have kept our prices stable. We haven't increased prices, so that in turn helps customers. And we have been increasing these facilities and services to keep up the rents in those properties.
And as a CEO, we've only got a couple of minutes left. That can't be easy to keep prices level because your costs are going to be increasing. I mean, I'm looking at some of the recent announcements from Azizi, and you're a big developer, and you've got thousands and thousands of properties across Dubai that you're developing. You've done a deal with Hyundai for elevators. You've signed a deal with an air conditioning company. My guess is, with inflation around the world, the prices you're paying for all these things, elevators, air conditioning, cement, whatever it may be, must be going up. What kind of price inflation are you seeing as the boss of the company in terms of your inputs?
So one thing that we have done recently, and that's unique to our development, is that we go and source all the materials for our project ourselves directly instead of going through an intermediary. That helps a bit on the pricing, but then also helps a lot with the quality. So when we buy the material and source them ourselves, that helps quite a bit. As in for inflation. It's been felt less. It's been felt less here in Dubai. What I see. I mean, for a lot of products, if we were paying a price 3 years ago, it's almost the same for many of the products. It hasn't been felt as much as other countries or other cities.
So that's interesting. So, for example, reading recently, you've just done a deal with Hyundai Elevators, 3 buildings in Park Avenue in Mohammed bin Rashid City, near Meydan, for example. I would imagine that that's Hyundai, it's a Korean and global company, that those prices would be significantly more than they would have been 3 or 4 years ago. But is that not the case?
It hasn't changed much as a bulk buyer. So we buy in big quantities, and it hasn't changed much. The percentage isn't as high as over 10%. So the increase is 2 to 3%, but not more than that.
Okay, well that's good to hear. With inflation double digits,
I think it's with the intention of buying it in big portion that helps the supplier as well, and that helps us in return. And then at the end, we're able to keep the prices stable as well for customers.
So what about more long term? As we mentioned earlier, the bulk of what you're producing is affordable to mid-level housing here in Dubai. If you look at your 10-year blueprint, as I'm sure you and your team are in the first week of September, what are you thinking? Are you thinking carry on with that, with 500,000 dirham apartments, or is it let's go for 100 million dirham villas on the Palm?
Oh yeah. No, things are changing a lot. There's a big focus in our company on quality at every level, whether it's better projects, timely delivery, or customer service. So there's a lot of change in that, and we're also looking for a lot of new properties. In fact, today afternoon I'm signing a deal for acquiring new land. I'll announce that later, but
go on, give us a clue. No one's listening, Farhad.
It's a new project. It's a very special one for us.
It's in Dubai?
Yes, it's in Dubai. It's on Shehzad Road. It's a very interesting project, and you will hear about it maybe in a month once we have worked a bit on it. But what the example I was giving is that project is very high end. And also we're looking for properties that are houses, townhouses, villas. So as a developer, we're changing the type of properties that we have. We have.
Farhad, we're going to have to leave it there. We're out of time. Appreciate your time today. You've got to go. Your pen is ready to sign a deal later on today. Farhad Azizi, CEO of Azizi Developments. Appreciate your time.